Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening, boys and girls. Good evening, men and women from all over. Wakenya, watazamaji, wandugu wapendwa, karibuni kwa hii show. Thank you for being part of this great conversation show. Mmekuja kupenda hii show, si wadau wa mnaingoja. I can see many washafurika, mumejaa already. Few seconds and mumeja. Asante sana. Let me know where you're watching me from. As usual, I'm your host, Jakes, the moderator. This is your show, yeah? Your show has begun. Your show, ambao umekuja kupenda, has begun. And your show is now rolling. Karibu sana. Karibu sana. Ni juzi unantazama wapi? Wewe ambaye umejiunga nami, karibu kwa hii show. Wadau, karibuni tu sana. I've missed you. I was with you in the morning, eh? So subscribe to Africa and follow all our shows. Kuko na shows nyingi hapa kwa Afrika. Asante sana wadau. Ni juzi unatazama ukiwa wapi? Karibu sana kwa hii show. Karibu sana kwa hii show. I have a lot to tell you today. From jana leo, I have a lot to tell you. So hii ni ile show unaketi unapozi and then you watch all I have to show you. My friends, karibuni sana. Wadau, karibuni. Wakenya watukufu, wazalendo, asanteni sana kwa kuwa miongoni mwetu. Nyinyi ambao mnanitazama, si mmekaribishwa tu sana. Welcome to Africa TV. This is your show. This is your host. This is your program. Karibu sana. Karibu tu sana. Welcome to Africa 24. Welcome to this show. Welcome to this show. We have another great one for you. This is a good one, better than the others, eh? Many are asking why the topic. Well, I'll be telling you why. Kwa sababu leo kumewaka. Leo ni ile siku, eh? There are people who have begun saying, it's time, yeah? It's time. We don't have to wait for the 4 years. It's time. I'll be telling you of some people yesterday and even today, people who are now saying it's now time. It's about time that we send someone home. We're telling you who and why. Karibu sana, ni juzi unanitazama ukiwa wapi? Welcome to this show. I see many wamelike hii video, wengi wamelove hii video, wengi wamesubscribe kwa Afrika. Asante tu sana. Margaret Mawia, asante sana kwa kulava our video na kulike our video. Asante tu sana. Henry Mongara, asante sana. Pato Karanja, I see you. Thank you for liking our video. Robert Kadewa, asante sana. Samuel K. Kurgat, asante sana. Aha, karibuni sana. It's about time. Someone is asking me, it's time for what? I'll be telling you, stick around to find out it's about time for what. Ni kubaya huku nje wadau, ni kubaya in the sense that we thought tutaongelea hizi story maybe 2027. But it's like as much as Christmas is coming early at Africa 24, there is something coming earlier than 2027. Stay around. I'm telling you, zile vitu ambazo nimewaandalia leo, these ones, hii mtabambika, hii mtalike na hii mtapenda. Welcome to this show. Welcome. Watu wa USA hamjamboni, karibuni sana. Watu wa wapi? Jamaica, karibuni. Watu wa UK, watu wa Germany, watu wa Australia, wase wa Canada, karibuni. Wakenya ambao mnanitazama from all over, wase wa Saudi, karibuni sana kwa hii show. Wase wa Qatar, wase wa Lebanon, wase wa wapi, karibuni sana. Hapa nyumbani watu wa Mombasani, vipi? Karibuni. Watu wa Isiolo, watu wa Garissa, watu wa Nairobi, watu wa Kisumu, Kisumu Pacho, vipi? Karibuni sana kwa show. Let me know where you're watching me from. Ni Tuesday, yeah? Let me know where you're watching me from. I see many of you are already joining me because this show, as I've told you, this is an interesting one. This one is an interesting one, yeah? Even as I introduce, do you know what Article 144 of the Constitution says? Do you know what Article 144 of the Constitution says? That article probably might be very famous very soon. That article might be very famous very soon. Naona Mkenya Daima ashatuma ujumbe anasema, did he impeach Kibaki with 2005 referendum? Anasema doing something the same but expecting different results. Yeah, we'll be talking more about this. Let me know maoni yako ni yapi. Raila Odinga yesterday issued a statement concerning the report. I promised you we will talk about that, and we shall do that in this show. Today pia amezidisha, Today pia amezidisha, and he had a whole battalion talking of something interesting. This one wadau, you must like. And then funny enough, kuna kitu William Ruto ameambiwa ameshika. This one, I don't know. I don't know how to even, but if you are under it, kindly mute up. Listen to this, ladies and gentlemen, even as I start the show.
Mkono ya watu binafsi. Manake bei ya mafuta itapanda kwa ile kampuni ambayo itanunua hiyo shirika. Lakini kitu gani walifanya? Kabla hajaanza hii mambo ya kuuza hizi mashirika, waliangalia bunge. Bunge ni imepewa jukumu ya kuangalia vile serikali inafanya mambo yake. Lakini wakaanza kwa bunge, wakashika makende ya bunge, wakafinya.
Hey. We, kuna mtu ameshika story hapo. Kuna msee ameshika story hapo. We, I'll be telling you more about that and more about what we are about to discuss. But let me know where you're watching me from. Like this video, subscribe to Afrique, be part of the conversation. I will be telling you how to join me live on studio, and we have a decent conversation. Sorry for the teething problems we have been having, but we are about to get it right. Yeah, we are about to get it right. So hii show itakuwa very stable, very constant, and very much ready for you. Asante sana wadau. Let me know unanitazama ukiwa wapi. Si mnijuze tu hapo kwa comment section mnanitazama mkiwa maeneo gani. But I love this that wengi wame like hii video, wengi wame subscribe na wengi wanatuma ujumbe. Paul Oguna ametuma ujumbe wake, asante sana. Shiko Felista, I see you, asante sana. Samuel Ikobe, asante sana. Austin Riba, asante sana. Peter Paul, I see you. Pepe Kale, asante sana. I see you my brother. Benson Ondieki, ninakuona. Henry, asante pia wewe kwa kulike hii video. Now, some people are saying it's about time we impeach one William Samoei Arap Ruto, the sitting 5th president of the Republic of Kenya. It's about time. It's about time we impeach, right? We impeach the sitting president, William Samoei Ruto, because of reasons I'll be telling you just now. Do you think now it's time we impeach him? Is the economy so bad? Are the promises so much forgotten? Are the lies too many? Right? Is corruption so high that it's now time that we impeach the president? Is it time? Now, the funniest thing is when you impeach the president, the next thing happens. Gachagua becomes president. So won't we be jumping from a frying pan into the fire? My thoughts. My thoughts. But they're saying it's time we impeach the president. I remember kulikuwa na time wakasema they wanted to impeach him when he was the DP. Now they're saying it's time we impeach him. Why? Listen to Kaluma, and I'll be telling you more about Article 144. Listen to one Mheshimiwa Kaluma. Peter.
I never listen or watch William Ruto talk. Hata nyinyi. Na sababu ni kwamba Mawadhe alikuwa ananiambia wiki mbili iliyopita kwamba Ruto akija kuambie Kaluma we unaitwa Peter Kaluma. Hata mimi sitakubali mimi ni Peter Kaluma because I'm not sure kama inatoka huko. But today while driving here I decided to listen to him after our meeting of yesterday. Na nimesikia William Ruto akisema cost of living, gharama ya maisha imeenda chini kabisa. Imeenda chini au imeenda juu? Imeenda juu. When a person sits down and imagines you can sell Kenyatta International Conference Center, that national heritage, uko na tabu. When a person sits down and he can imagine you can sell Kenya Pipeline Corporation to himself or his friends, iko tabu. Sababu ya hiyo mimi nataka kuwaomba muangalie Article 144 of the Constitution. And I'm just ending Senior Counsel Vice President Kalonzo Musyoka. We may be laughing thinking ile uongo ni normal, but siku moja yule jamaa atatoroka akimbie akiwa mad. So we must begin thinking about how we can remove William Ruto from the presidency of Kenya on account of mental incapacity. I don't think his lies are normal. I don't think those lies are normal. Asanteni sana.
Okay. I'll be coming to that video shortly. But kulingana na Karuma, it's like, according to him, the president ametupa mbao. Yeah, I'll equally be playing other sentiments of them describing William Ruto to be sick. Ni mgonjwa bwana, huyu jamaa ni sick. Now this is what he's saying, that mtu mwenye anataka kuuza KICC, mse mwenye anataka kuuza some of those parastatals, some of those organizations that have, you know, helped Kenyans over the years, the KCC, you know, Kenya what creameries, those ones, mse anataka kuuza hizo kulingana na Kaluma, that person is sick, you know. I remember tukiwa wadogo, one of the buildings zenye tungeishi kusifio tunaenda kuona, yeah, those of us wenye tulikuwa natoka mashamba, wewe ambaye sasa hizi umefika Nairobi umekuwa mnoma, you know all the corners, the first building ambayo ilikuwa like a landmark was KICC, yeah, popularly known by everyone. Of course now there are so many other nice buildings, but your building iko inapendwa na wengi wadau, ama inapendwa na wengi hadi wa leo. Yeah, it looks good, it's a nice building, it is an international building. That building wants to be sold. Now, according to Kaluma, selling that building, you must be mad. And because you're mad, Article 144 of the Constitution talks of reasons for removal of a president on grounds of incapacitation. When the president is incapacitated, or rather, hapikiri fiti, you know, he's not able to execute his duties normally. This is what the article says, that when the president is incapacitated, wakati akili zimeanza kukaa kama zinampotea, the Constitution says that a member of the National Assembly, supported by at least a quarter of all members, may move a motion for the investigation of the president's physical or mental capacity to perform the functions of the office. Now, that one rule, that hawahitaji wengi, only a quarter of all members, and then they just need to convince a quarter that the president hayuko sawa. Hapa juu kuna hapa juu ameachilia bwana, hapa juu is not okay, and because of that they want to impeach him. Now I'll equally be sharing an almost a related sentiment from Otiende Amolo, from Okiya Omtatah. They're almost headed to one direction, and the thin line there that joins all of them is that they want to impeach William Ruto, the president. Why? One of the reasons Karuma is saying ni incapacitation. You know, the president hayuko fiti. Hayuko fiti. Now, interesting enough, that might happen or might not happen. But my good friend Otiende Amolo wanted to listen to him. They were today in a burial, someone's mother, I think Mawate or someone. But this is what Otiende Amolo had to say. Listen to Otiende Amolo.
Kwa hewa, asanteni sana. Mimi nimekuja hapa kwanza kwa sababu Bwana Mawathe is my colleague now for the second time. Lakini pia nimetumwa na wanakandanda wa bunge. Mimi ndio captain wa bunge FC National Assembly. na naibu wangu ni Bwana Mawathe hapa. Kwa hivyo nataka kuhakikisha kwamba si ati ameukonde kwa kuteswa na watu wa Embakasi South, ni kufanya tizi sana. Pia nimeleta rambirambi ya our other captain from Senate, Senator Cheriot, na amenituma na special message ya Bwana Mawathe. Let me just say this. Archbishop said, death is the beginning of comfort. And I listened very carefully. Although tunaomboleza mama, to the family, she's gone to a comfortable place. And at least I can confirm that she's gone to a place where the cost of living will not affect her. She's gone to a place where she will not witness scandals of 16 billion in cooking oil, 17 billion in petroleum. I don't know how many billions in all other scandals. This government does scandals not in millions, in hundreds, but billions. And that's where the cost of living is. She's gone to a place where you will not witness, Mama, you will not witness people defying court orders. The housing levy was said to be unconstitutional. And somebody who's a lawyer says you must continue paying. The health fund was declared unconstitutional. Somebody says you must continue paying. I want to confirm that Mama has gone to a place where she will not witness the politics of national taxpayers and partisan shareholders. That you must all pay tax, but when it comes to employment, only those people will be employed. She's gone to a place, Mama, where at least you are cared for by your children. You did not die in floods. We live in a country where somebody says that those who are dying in floods should blame themselves. Shame on them. Shame on them. And I think my colleagues in the National Assembly and the Senate, the Constitution says that if somebody is guilty of gross misconduct, then it is time to impeach that person.
Okay. The good senior counsel is saying if someone is accused of gross misconduct, you know, we have seen others fall for little stuff. Some governors have gone home for little stuff, but the president has, you know, if the load of issues against him were to be brought, I don't know if he would survive, but he will survive because for one reason. There's a reason that Raila Odinga gave. Listen to the reason why
lakini wakaanza kwa bunge wakashika mke.
Because of that reason, it is impossible. It might be impossible to remove William Ruto from office. Yeah, but never say never. Never say never. But according to Otiendo Molos, Mskiza, together with Kaluma, another lawyer, they are saying, I think it's time. It's about time. And we're asking you, do you think it's now time we impeach William Ruto? Do you think we have enough grounds? Are you so angry that you feel it's now time we impeach none other than the president at the moment? I'll be telling you about a Mombasa revolution that was happening yesterday, led by none other than Jimmy Wanjigi. Yeah, he's back. You heard me right. Jimmy Wanjigi is now saying that it's also equally time. We don't have to wait for 2027. Yeah, he said that in some countries, bei tu ya mkate kupanda, that was enough to send a president packing. So he's asking you, are you angry enough to send the president home? In fact, they are quoting the famous Article 1 that we, the people, wadau, we, the people, have made this show. Karibu sana. Let me know where you're tuning in from. I say good dear. Asante sana kwa kuwa kwa show. Thank you very much. Wafula Emmanuel, I see you. Nick Odhiambo from VA, Virginia, I think. Karibu sana. Namuona Timothy Kipchilchil ako ndani. Karibu sana. Tue Ibra, I see you. Thank you so much for your comment and your sentiments. I see them. Namuona Kawera Kezia. Is it Kawera Makiruwira Kezia ako ndani? Asante sana. Namuona jamaa anajiita Rangi Rwanda anasema Ruto must go. Is it time for him to go? It's too early. It's too early. You remember Uhuru tulingoja akiwa 8th year, 9th year ndio tukaanza kusema amalize aende. Huyu ni only 1 year wadau. 1 year na mshaanza kusema hey bro manze, maliza maliza uende, maliza uende. Karibu kwa show. Let's have a decent conversation. I wish to invite you to the show. Now to join us ama to join me kwa studio si ngumu, na kutumia link hapo kwa comment section. Hapo tu kwa comment mahali unanitumia ujumbe, hapo ndio ninakutumia comment ya kuingia kwa show. Hiyo inakuja in form of a message. Hiyo message ukiiguza inakutuma moja kwa moja hadi StreamYard. Hapa StreamYard ukiingia unafanya nini? Unawasha kamera, unaandika jina na unawasha mic, alafu na click enter, as simple as ABC. Ya kwamba unawasha kamera, unawasha mic, ziko kwa hiyo app. Hiyo message ukiguza inakutuma moja kwa moja hadi StreamYard. Unawasha kamera, unawasha mic, andika jina fupi, si lazima iwe jina zako zote tatu, si lazima iwe jina lako kamili, tumia jina lolote lakini zaidi ya yote, baada ya kufanya hivyo click enter, unajikuta kwa show. I'm asking you tonight, this evening rather, do you think it's time to impeach the president? Of course, today, in other news, the president and team were celebrating 1 year of Hustler Fund. Wewe Hustler Fund imekufanyia nini wadau? Hustler Fund imekufanyia nini? Have you really benefited from that fund? Of course, I'll be playing that later on in the show. But today marks, or rather today, was a celebration of the 1 year Hustler Fund. Na wakaongeza limit. Sasa saizi manze kuchukua do, unachukua do mingi kidogo. Kama uko unachukua 1,000, umeruka to 2,000 and all. But wadau, despite all that, I think it's interesting that as he was launching the Hustler Fund, others were busy saying it's time he goes home. One of the reasons they cited that during his speech today, he said the economy is doing well. The economy is now sound, right? He said the economy is now doing well. The economy is now sound. What do you think? Is the economy doing well? So if the economy is doing well, why impeach the president? Honestly, wadau mkwange na huruma. Why impeach the president after giving you Hustler Fund? Ameongezea limit. Why impeach him? Why impeach him? I like how my good friend and lawyer Kende Amolo tried to compare those who have slept, or rather those who have died, that they are not suffering from the cost of living. They are not hearing about lost billions. And he was saying those guys are better because we who are alive, we are being treated to drama after drama. Loss of money here, loss of money there. Scandal here, scandal there. Promise this one to promise that other one. And they are saying, because of that and many more, William Ruto stand ground for impeachment. Allow me to repeat that part for you.
The cost of living will not affect her. She's gone to a place where she will not witness scandals of 16 billion in cooking oil, 17 billion in petroleum. I don't know how many billions in all other scandals. This government does scandals not in millions, in hundreds, but billions. And that's where the cost of living is. She is going to a place where you will not witness, Mama, you will not witness people defying court orders. The housing levy was said to be unconstitutional. And somebody who's a lawyer says you must continue paying. The health fund was declared unconstitutional. Somebody says you must continue paying. I want to confirm that Mama has gone to a place where she will not witness the politics of national taxpayers and partisan shareholders. That you must all pay tax, but when it comes to employment, only those people in the water will be employed. She's gone to a place, Mama, where at least you are cared for by your children. You did not die in floods. We live in a country where somebody says that those who are dying in floods should blame themselves. Shame on them. Shame on them. And I think my colleagues in the National Assembly and the Senate, the Constitution says that if somebody is guilty of gross misconduct, then it is time to impeach that person. Huyu mtu mwenye nesema wale wa kuandikwa ni shareholders tu, wale wanakufa shauri yao, it is time we reconsider their stay without waiting for another 4 years. Asanteni sana.
It's time we reconsider their stay without waiting for another 4 years. Impeachment loading. Impeachment loading. Okiya Mtata described the president as a big empty head that deserves to go home. Right? Jimmy Wanjike equally said that it's time for a revolution. It's time we send the president packing. But now the question is, you know, the constitution is very clear. The one who steps in immediately is the deputy president. Makosa. Eh? The one who steps in is none other than one, the truthful man, the man from Nyeri, the former DO, Gachagua himself. Fedash, I see you in the show. Karibu sana. Hope you're well. How are you, my brother?
I'm good.
Fedash.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you. Actually, it's almost an ending year, but how are you?
I'm doing good. It has been so long by the until now.
It has been a while, but I'm glad to see you. Hope you're well.
I'm fine. I'm very fine. I'm very fine. Though we are going through what we chose to go through.
Okay. Now, if you can raise your voice, kidogo, for the sake of our viewers and here, those who are hearing to us, listening, that hearing. I think my English equally should be impeached. But let me ask you, do you think it's time? Do you think it's time now that we impeach the president?
Okay. I think if we think of impeaching the president at this time, I think it's too early because we haven't actually experienced behind all these shenanigans and kind of like jokes that is happening. We haven't experienced the deep side of it. As per my thinking, what I'm thinking is that what we are going through right now is like the president is trying to bond with the presidency. So you find him doing a lot of blunders, having in mind that he's trying to micromanage everything in the government. But if we can just give time, just tumpatie tu time aweze ku square out issues zenye ako nazo, because as of now even the president is afraid to trust anyone, so he believes and trusts himself and having himself is doing a lot of blunders. But given time, I think anaweza kuja back to kwa njia ambayo anafaa apitie, kwa sababu bado akona room, because 5 years haijaisha. This is the first year lazima angeblanda. I think the second year ndo sasa atakuja harmonize vitu ikue back to the track. But if we impeach him as of now, to Kenyans, I think it will be too early. And after impeaching him, the person who will take his seat ndio sasa atakuwa even worse. So it's too early for us to impeach the president.
Now, the one who will take over is none other than the deputy president. Now, which is what we call, which do you think is the lesser evil or the lesser demon? Is it William Ruto or is DP?
Okay.
Who can Kenyans live with?
Okay, for me, as of now, in fact, Kenyans, as of now, we are just sisi tuko tu. We are in between a hard rock and a hard place, or lack of better word, I can say that we are now in between the devil himself and Satan. We are in between the devil and Satan himself. So there is no one who is good actually at the topmost level when you trust in between the deputy and the president. Because the deputy actually anafanya kenye president anafanya. In fact, he does not have any ideas. He does not have an ideas ya kugovern the executive. Yeye anajua kwamba the president ndio kusema, president yako na ideas na ideas za president ndio anazitumia, so ndio wasi.
Now many are saying that for him to sell, because some of the reasons they are citing is that he wants to sell KICC and other things. Do you think one ought to sell them? Let's begin from there. Do we even need to sell them? And why sell them after only being 1 year in office? Why wait? Maybe next year things might be better and these buildings or these institutions might begin to improve. Why do you think he wants to sell them, and why the rush, and why now?
From where I'm sitting, the reason to us why the president is thinking of selling these institutions is basically is from the pressure from within. Kila mtu anataka apatue share yake, kila mtu anataka apatue 1 2 3. So the president is like is trying kufurahisha watu wenye anafanya nao kazi, anajaribu kufunika some loopholes zenye ziko na watu wenye wako nao wanataka kukula. Na of course akisema kwamba of course wale watu watauziwa ni hao watu wenye wako na yeye. So for me, I don't think that is not the good choice that the president is following, because ametuingiza kwa shida, anasema Kenya iko kwa shida. Sasa ndio sasa anatuingiza kwa shida zaidi, anachimba shimo sasa zaidi akienda chini, instead of kufunika uchi. Those buildings and those institutions zimekuwa kwa Kenya for all those years, starting from the days of Kenyatta, the days of Moi, Kibaki, of Uhuru, kaenda 10 years. Na there is never a time in kuliwahi semekana such an idea, but with this idea coming at this time, I don't think it's the good idea, and the president should not actually asifanye Kenya anataka kufanya, because itatuingiza kwa shida. These are government owned, executive owned institutions, and tukizijua as part of history, tumeishi tukizijua kwamba they are part of Kenya, and hizo ndo zimetubuild.
Shikilia tu hapo kidogo Fedash. I see my friend Innocent Maina kwa show. Innocent, how are you?
I'm fine, I'm doing well.
Karibu sana kwa show. Good to see you, good to have you.
Thank you.
Now, let me ask you, do you agree with Kaluma Omtata, with Jimmy Wanjigi, and of course Otende Omolo, who now are calling for the impeachment of the president? Do you agree with them?
I agree. It should have come like yesterday.
Actually, we are late, eh?
We are late.
Why do you think? Why do you agree with them?
Everything is going south. You see, everything is education, economy, El Nino. So many things are going south. So we need a serious person on that seat.
Now, you see, the constitution is so clear that the next person that is so serious for that seat is the deputy president.
Yeah, he claims to be a truthful man. So
truthful is one thing. To be equal to the task is another. So, do you think he's cut out to be a president, for starters?
Okay, he has not been tried. Maybe.
Okay.
Can give him a benefit of doubt, but if it again doesn't work, we can keep on impeaching until the hands come back home.
But now think about it. We want to impeach the president only 1 year in office. What if next year or in coming days things improve? Are we not jumping the gun, or rather doing things in a rush simply because we are frustrated at the moment? What if the tides begin to change for the better? What do you think? Don't you agree with Fedash, who says probably we should give the president some little more time, because 1 year in office is not enough to really justify him being incompetent and many other reasons that they are citing? Don't you think time might probably help him?
I don't want to be the lawyers, the devil's lawyer, but let me tell you, nothing will change. That one be sure.
Yeah. Okay, let me take it to the nearest circle. Nothing will change, but some of the reasons we are citing ni economy, nini, some promises that were never fulfilled and all. And of course, now he's even selling some public utilities. All that is affecting Mwanainchi, right? And of course, not even forgetting the corruption ambayo imekuwa rampant. What can William Ruto do to survive?
Maybe try to get the loot, buy everybody, buy even me. Because now is the issue of buying members of parliament, buy all the politicians, buy all the political parties, then he'll survive the crude way.
Now, Article 144 only calls for a quarter, not even half the parliament, a quarter. And then after they submit their reasons for impeachment, the speaker appoints 2 doctors or qualified and registered doctors to look at the well-being of the president within 7 days. And if the report is tabled and it's found that the president he's not sane, because according to Kaluma, he's saying the president is not sane. Let me start even from this question. Do you think the president is sane?
No, he's okay. He's sober. He's okay. It's
So
only that that one cannot be a reason justifiable to get the president out of office, because he's sane. Actually, he knows what he's doing. It's only that he's doing it the wrong way.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, the big elephant in the room would be, why do you think all his pet projects are failing? All his trying everything. Feda says he's the president trying to familiarize himself with the office, and as he's doing that, everything he's touching seems to be falling. Raila Odinga said it could be he's suffering from a curse, that nothing he touches will ever work out. Now, what do you think? Do you think it's a curse? Is it robbery gone wrong? Because they normally say waliiba and all. What do you think?
I think from my side, I feel it's a one-man sided show. He never takes any instructions. What he says is what he believes. And in most cases, he believes on wrong things that don't work. And then he forces things through people. Like he said now, we have to do this NHIF thing, and it has to pass, so it goes to parliament. Those guys, they just rubber stamp. This housing thing has to go through. It goes through. There will be no El Nino, and it's there. And he only thinks that the cost of living is unga. So if unga tomorrow sells at 20, he'll say that he has really improved the cost of living. So it's just a one man show. That's why he's failing. He does not have he has technocrats that he does not listen to. So Nikiburi, I think.
Innocent, just hold on there. Fedash, Innocent says that William Ruto is failing because of being a jack of all trades, mastering in none. Do you agree with him that he's failing because he fails to listen? He fails to put in the right people to support him. Hence, he's failing because of his own self. Do you agree?
Yeah. Yes, I do agree. I do agree so much. Number one character that makes me to agree more about that sentiments that you're giving me is that he is selfish, because it is shown actually in the previous regime, whereby he never wanted to listen to the president side of the story, and he chose to run off, or he chose to stay aside and let the president do his thing alone. And then he went and tried to make himself holier than thou, as he was calling himself an hustler. He never wanted to listen to his to the president whenever the president gave a comment on or a suggestion about something. He only wanted things to be done his way, and with that is how he fell with the president. And since that day when he fell out with the president, up to now, he still micromanage everything. In fact, I believe one thing, that he even tries to micromanage the heavens. The other day, he was actually he was actually trying to put words in the mouth of God, whereby he was disapproving the meteorological department about El Nino, and in fact, he mentioned the name of God. I don't know which God he was referring to, and actually said that Mungu ni nani, and because El Nino that was predicted to that was going to come to Kenya, God has already removed that El Nino and anawapatia minimal rainfall. To his surprise,
hata juzi
because you cannot
tulisikia
micromanage God,
tukawa na
God
habari
proved
pengine kutakuwa na El Nino
his
ambayo
might
itaharibu
to the
kule,
nation of
itaharibu
Kenya,
mahali
and
ingine,
in fact what was
lakini Mungu ni nani? Mmesikia wale watu wamesema tena ile El Nino haitakuweko, wamesema kutakuwa tu na mvua kubwa, lakini haitafika pale.
Okay. Aha. So according to you, Fedash, you're saying that he almost wants to even well, you're harsh today, Fedash, but ni sawa. But go ahead. Go ahead. Fedash, can you hear me? Fedash, can you hear me?
Fedash, yes, I can hear you.
Yeah, go ahead. Sorry for that. You are saying that he wants even to micromanage the heavens.
Yeah, he is trying to micromanage even the heaven, and to his surprise, things are going in a different way. The president even has taken parts. He has people who have ideas which he does not want to buy. In fact, he doesn't want to buy any idea from anyone. He believes in himself. He believes in his own dreams. He believes in his own heart. And I also believe that he even does not listen to his wife. I'm sorry to say this, but he does everything the way he thinks, the way he dreams, and he's a prophet of his own kingdom.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Innocent, I want to come to you. There is a point that Fedash has raised. You think the president is losing ground or touch with the hustlers? Because he came with the narrative of he's a hustler number one, who sold eggs and all, and actually sold that narrative to Mwanainchi, and Mwanainchi bought it. And after that, after him clenching the seat, the Mamamboga, Mtoboda Boda were forgotten. It's no longer about them. The conversation has changed. Now, if you were to speak as a Mwanainchi, do you think the hustler part, the hustler nation, have they deserted him? If the call to impeach William Ruto is called today, will the hustler nation support the impeachment?
I don't think so. I don't think so. You know, hustlers are beggars, and beggars no, they don't have any choice. They are with him. He has not lost ground of the hustlers, because hustlers they are with open arms. They are waiting to be bribed. So they are waiting for anything that will fall, and where it tilts to, that's where they'll go to. Hustlers will never have a stand. They are with him. He has not lost ground. He has only lost ground on the middle class and the upper class. But with the hustlers are the likes, like, let us give him some more time. They're like all is not lost. Yeah.
Okay. Now,
yeah.
I have seen even in his own camp, kumeanza kuchipuka some MPs who seem not to be agreeing with almost everything now that he's doing. Unlike before. Before, it was almost a choir. But now we are seeing the likes of Dede Nyoro outwardly say that the report was not good and they don't even support a referendum. The Molo MP, Kuria Kemani, says that as well he does not support what the report came out with. Wamoshomba the same, among many other leaders from the mountain region, leaders who helped him campaign for him to be a president. But him, on the same breath, on Sunday said that he supports the report. Now, if we are talking about the report now, he supports the report fully. Why do you think now he's equally losing touch with his own team?
The report is about politicians. It does not touch the people on the ground. So it's the show for the politicians. They will fight over they want some seats. There are those people who are saying that if these seats are going to come, some people are going to lose. Should the handshake come, there are some people are going to lose. So it's just for the politicians. It's not for the people on the ground. The people on the ground are just being manipulated. But they're not interested. People are interested on how to put food on the table, how to take children to school, how to move. So with the issue of politicians, it's neither here nor there. It's only the politicians that will keep on fighting. Yeah.
Okay, just
it doesn't affect the common Mwanainchi.
I'll be coming back to you just now. Fedash, Innocent says that the president hasn't lost the hustler nation, but we have seen in recent days some of his CSs being heckled, some of his MPs being booed by crowds, angry crowds. The crowd that used to move, we used to say that Raila has an organic crowd and Ruto has a huge following. Now I'm not sure about that part of huge following, because we have seen some of his CSs unable even to speak in front of crowds because Mwanainchi feels disappointed. Minor saying maybe he hasn't lost touch with the hustlers, but from where is it? Do you think that has happened?
Yes, what I can say both yes and no. Saying yes, number one is that he has lost the touch of the hustler, because at first the term hustler was used to define those people who are probably quote unquote poor, and those who cannot manage to provide the 4-course meal. At least people who are working probably wamekuwa categorized as the least when it comes to wealth. So our watu saizi, as of now, Ruto aliwasahau. He forgot about everyone that he was thinking of or was talking of about the term hustler. Alikuwa ametumia kumention wakina mama mboga, watu wa boda boda. Na as of now tuseme kwamba some touch imepotea. Ana ile grip yenye alikuwa naye pale mbeleni, because amepandisha tax juu, amepandisha karibu kila kitu ni expensive. Na pia nikisema the other side, pia nitasema kwamba bado ako na hustlers, kwa sababu saa hizi vile Kenya anaongea, ukimsikiza vile anaongea, he is making speeches, his heart is thinking a lot of these people who are probably wako pale chini food chain. Anawafikiria, anawazia mawazo mema. Shida ni muongo, he lies. He lies, anatumia uongo bado kuendelea kushikilia grip ya wale watu walikuwa wakifikiria. Anajaribu kutumia maneno matamu kuwaleta karibu, wasipotee, wasimwache. And I feel pity for him, because he's trying hard to, and the more he tries hard, the tena inakuwa mambo inazidi kuwa worse. Alafu the other thing, he does not want to tell us the truth. Because the truth will set us free. What he's telling us is that wakati they took the government, it was the government ilikuwa wanatumia neno, anasema, I don't know, I've forgotten that word. Wanasema government ilikuwa poor, nini empty coffers, nini. But looking at the way things are, I can't see any empty coffers. They were lying to Kenyans that they found empty coffers. The government was poor. There was not even a single cent in the nini kwa hizo coffers. Kulikuwa hadi mambo ilikuwa mbaya. But looking with a microscopic eye, nikiangalia the way government Uhuru aliwacha, it was way better than where we are right now. There was money to pay civil servant. There was money to manage the government. There was money actually to manage everything. But with them, they came with a lot of lies, a lot of sweet tongue, a lot of sweet mouth. They told us how things were bad, and we Kenyans believed what they were telling us. Unfortunately, the way things are right now, I even don't believe anymore that the government was poor then. But he is trying, even though he's doing all these things that anafanya, anajaribu kuleta hasla karibu na yeye na bado wamemweka hasla mbali. He is trying and give time, probably hawezi kuwa mjinga miaka yote, atarevuka.
Okay. Hawezi kuwa mjinga miaka yote, atarevuka. Thank you very much you who is tuning in. Asante sana. I see many wanatuma ujumbe hapo kwa comment section and many liking and loving our video and as well subscribing to Africa 24. Naona Timothy Kipchilchil amefanya ile kitu. Asante sana Kezia. I see you. Thank you for liking our video. I see Nathan Kebiro. Asante sana. Rono Kip, I thank you for liking the video. Ogedo Liki, I see you. Asante sana. Franco Ndote, asante sana. Peter Odero, I see you. Wafula Emmanuel, I see you. Nico Thiambo, asante sana. Edwin Opaudo, I thank you for liking the video and as well subscribing to Africa 24. Asante sana. I'm in the house with Innocent Maina and of course as well I'm with jamaa Najita Fedash. Pole leo wameweka wameenda nyuma ya tent, lakini sauti yao tunaipata loud and clear. Namwona John Mugo ako ndani ametuma ujumbe. Asante sana. Thank you for participating in this show. Innocent, I want to come to you. If today we were to go to the referendum and there is a yes team and a no team, the yes team agreeing with the report and the no team disagreeing with the report, let me start from this. Which team do you think many Kenyans would wish to follow?
The referendum is not an option as at now to the Kenyans.
Okay.
So most Kenyans will go with no.
Okay.
Yes.
Now, in the event they go with no and William Ruto decides to be the yes team, do you think the team and the person kind of who takes the bull by the horns maybe decides to lead the no camp as he did in 2010? William Ruto led the no team, right? As much as he lost, but many argue that was his defining moment. That is where his career was built properly, despite him, of course, having been there before. But that part of taking the government to task and being the man to lead the no team, you know, in conjunction with the church and many others, despite them losing, but it's what made them. Now, my question to you is, if anyone decides to lead the no team, what are his chances in the future? Will it be will it build the person? Because the person might come out to be, the person who seems to be the savior, because it's seemingly William Ruto is not. So the no team, the leader of the no team.
All indications are that Martha Karua might go to the no side. But she does not have that muscle to convince people post the referendum. Because actually the yes people, we have the likes of Kalonzo, Raila, Ruto will be just in one camp. And Mother will be she'll be a lone ranger. And if she succeeds, she might not go post the referendum because she does not have that muscle. She's like an activist and not a serious politician. So unless somebody comes out, I don't know who, but I doubt it will just be Martha Karua, I think.
But many are joining in the choir. You have had none other than Jimmy Wanjigi yesterday. He had a forum in Mombasa and he was calling for a revolution. Don't you think as well he might jump on the no wagon?
Maybe time will tell.
Now, the other question about that referendum, even to a simple Mwanainchi, do we even really need a referendum?
Of course, because the issues they are talking about, they touch on the structure of the constitution, and that one needs the people's mandate, like the executive, the structure of the executive. So it means that there has to be a referendum for people to ratify it. So they cannot just implement whatever they have said through the back door. Actually, the courts will throw them out. Yeah, so they have to go to the referendum.
Okay.
And we are seeing people are going to immediately they sign these things. People are going to go to court to question its legality again. Because when you look at the way the process has been done, the public has not been given enough time for participation. There were strict timelines, so Kenya did not get time to go through these reports. So still they have a legal hurdle. Yeah.
Interesting. Mr. Fab, let me come to you because it's interesting that I agree that some of these things need a referendum. But of course, is the country ready for the referendum? Do we have even the resources? But then again, I want to come to you with this question, Mr. Fedash. If we were to go for a referendum, how will that play out, given that we will have the opposition and the government working together to change the constitution, but Mwanainchi, as Maina is saying, is not fully involved in it. So it will be grabbed down their throat. Do you see the court being an intervention, as we saw in BBI, and we may also have another null and void moment? Do you see this collapsing even before it begins running?
Yeah, okay. Yes. I think as of now, number one, Kenya as Kenya, we are not yet ready for any referendum, because the other day we had an election, which probably went the way it went. And as of now, Kenyans, we are trying to think forward on how best we can be able to live and fight for another time. And with a referendum in mind, probably being brought by the executive, they're trying to put to push this thing on us, that we go to on a referendum, so that at least the structure of executive can be stretched far. And with that, with Kenyans, we are not taking this thing lightly, probably because we know of going for a referendum, there is no benefit we are going to get. We are still going to be living in an election mood for probably long, which we are tired of. And actually, we as Kenyans, we are thinking that one thing that we want as of now is to settle. The next thing we are looking at, we have the best court actually in Kenya, the court that is full of justice. They do things the way they are supposed to be done. And with this referendum issue being brought to them, I know it will be null, and it will be subjected to be null and void. It won't go far. It won't go far because the court, we have a very sober court.
Okay. Maina, let me come to you. William Ruto was very vocal in opposing BBI. I'm sure he knows what led to its fall. Do you see him suffering the same fate? Because many call him as a smart politician. Maybe he might prepare so well that it will be impossible to have a null and void moment again, in as far as the referendum or changing the constitution is concerned. What do you make of this process round? Do you see it succeeding, or will it still fail even before it begins, just like BBI?
I think if Ruto means well, it will succeed, because he's a go-getter. He knows how to push issues, so it will definitely go through if he'll be at the center. Yeah.
Now, him being at the center, him being the politician we know, him being that man that many term to be clever in his own right. Some of the sweeteners that probably might be there are, of course, the cost of living might be brought in a way just to make Mwanainchi feel better, right? And Mwanainchi might be convinced. Then after the referendum, either the yes team or the no team will win. But let's imagine the yes team has won. now we have the ability to have the prime cabinet secretary, now a constitutional office. Number two, now we get an opposition leader with 2 deputies. You have said here that Martha Karua might choose to lead the North team. Will she get an office, given that she will have opposed Raila Odinga in pushing for the referendum? So
I don't know whether you
what
have
are the
gone through
likely?
this. I've gone through
I
the
have.
report shortly, and what I've seen is that any changes that will be, any changes that will come to force, they'll not come to force during this regime. So
Yeah,
they'll come
correct.
in the next regime.
Yes,
So
yes.
we don't know whether Martha Karua will be in the next, after 2027, whether she will fight for anything. So much of the things that will be done through the referendum will not be effected during this term, to be in the next
You're
term.
right.
Even
You're
Raila
right.
has nothing to gain from this. So that's why Raila say, he wants to stand with the cost of living, because that one will give him a legacy. But Ruto is a bit crafty, because what he's thinking of reducing the cost of fuel next month. Okay, for this December. Then he'll still reduce it in January, and somehow people will start now, developing some kind of cold feet. They will not see whether a referendum is very necessary, and the suckers will just continue. Yeah.
Now, it's interesting that one time the DP said that these talks are going nowhere, but so far it seems the talks are going somewhere. The likes of Ndedenyor and all. When we go to a referendum, what do you think would be the state of Gachagua? Will it also be like what happened to Ruto during BBI? It's like BBI was the beginning of his fall, or is him parting ways with Uhuru permanently, because he had a clear stand away from what Uhuru wanted, and now BBI came and Ruto had to make a stand, and the stand was not in full support, right? What do you think will happen to Gachagua in this scenario? Now that, for instance, if he goes for a referendum, what do you think he would choose to do?
One thing that I must tell you is that we are not going to go for this referendum anytime soon, because one, we don't have the IBC well constituted. The process of getting IBC commissioners was stalled. So we are not in an agreement of getting the IBC commissioners anytime soon. And so by the time we have them properly constituted in the office, it will be maybe in 2026, thereabouts, near 2027, and it will have changed. Our politics could have changed completely by then. So Gachagua was very right. These things are not going anywhere. It was just an issue of cooling people's, tempers, and try to go around and see if they can get Raila, and maybe see if they can give him something small to keep quiet. Give him some few appointments here and there, so that they can buy time. It's an issue of it's convenience anyway. You see, the president praised the report. That was not sugarcoating it. If you checked his heart, he does not mean anything good for this.
Yeah. Now, if the report is anything to go by, do you think having those offices will help solve the issues that divide us every time we have elections?
I don't think so. Kenyans will just do things the Kenyan way. And the Kenyan way is changing endlessly. We change continuously. So we'll bring those officers and have them within 3-4 years change, come with new offices, expand the counties, collapse some other counties, and that's Kenya will just do things the Kenyan way. Yeah.
And as Kenyans, do you think the offices that we already have, I think I have this question in the morning, the offices we currently have, even before we talk of the new ones we are imagining or wishing to have, the current ones, have they benefited Mwanainchi?
I don't think so. In fact, I should think that in the whole world, a Kenyan is overrepresented.
Okay.
He's overrepresented because he has like 7 elective representatives, and then a whole list of the ward administrators, chiefs, a Kenyan is overrepresented. So these offices don't work. Yeah, I don't think by increasing them to 8 or 9 or 10 will make even the Kenyan suffer most.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, these offices equally come with another budget. No office lacks a budget. We saw the introduction of the chief cabinet minister, that is prime minister. We saw his office come with a budget, and equally we saw his spouse equally allocated an office. These offices once created, do we even have money for it? Given that we are struggling as it is, are we even prepared for these offices?
One thing that I must tell you is that money is available.
Okay.
Yeah, because Kenyans have not died; they will just be milked dry to their last drop. So they just increase things here and there, and then you get the finances. Introduce new taxes.
Okay.
Yeah, with the issue of finances, I don't think whether it will be an issue. It's only that they will not care whether the common Mwanainchi will how he'll feel. They'll not care, but they'll have to get some money from the common Mwanainchi to cater for their need. That one with the issue of course, Kenyans are not ready with those finances, but they will be forced down their throats. Yeah.
Okay. I really want to thank you for your time and equally for your submissions, but maybe I can ask you a last one. When you look at all these people calling for an impeachment, I don't know if you have heard the story of the rats and the cat. That the rats one time held a meeting and they wanted to have a way of knowing when the cat is coming. So the rats decided, you know what, the easiest way to do it is to hang a bell around the neck of the cat. And each time the cat will be approaching, would hear the bell, the sound of the bell, the gong of the bell, and we will run. And everyone celebrated that idea, terming it noble and calling it as a very awesome idea. Now, the elephant in the room struck in. The question was, who would be the one to hang the bell? Now, we have had Okiya Mtata, we have had Otiende Amolo, we have listened to Peter Kaluma. Who do you think has the it to go for the impeachment of the president? And if that was to happen, what are some of the grounds? Because Mtata is a senator. In the Senate, I don't think they can table it. It has to start from Parliament. But what do you think? What do you think? Who do you think has the balls?
In the National Assembly, nobody.
Okay.
It's only Mtata who could have done it. Yeah.
So, as per you agree with Raila Odinga. Raila Odinga says that the president is holding Parliament hostage. In fact, he says in his words that our Parliament is almost like a conveyor belt. Anything the executive says, it is not even properly debated in Parliament. They just say, put the question, no debate, nothing. Laws are being passed left, right, and center. Nothing is being really debated in our Parliament. So according to you, do you agree with Raila Odinga that our Parliament is equally held hostage by this regime?
Absolutely. I agree with him 100%. And everybody can see it. Yeah, all these bills are passed from the finance bill to the NHI bill and other draconian laws. Everybody can see it. There is the new state capture, which has captured the National Assembly and the Parliament at large. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
And finally, a good pastor they say anamalizanga more than once. And finally, now the final, Raila Odinga equally said that because the government has refused to tackle the cost of living, he'll be issuing a directive of what Wananchi should do. If he calls for maandamano now, do you see them being better than the ones they had? Because right now, Mwanainchi, many are feeling they now really need to go to the streets. What do you make of maandamano if they were to be called today?
If maandamano were to be called today, Raila in the front, people will not go.
Okay.
They will not be successful, yeah.
So
it should
Raila reading it will not be okay.
If Raila leads it, it will be the usual story. So unless people just start spontaneously and do their own thing.
Also, Mwanainchi-led form of maandamano would work better.
Yes.
Okay. Beautiful, Mr. Innocent. I really want to thank you for your time. It wasn't it has been good, rather. It has been awesome. I love your engagement. I would want to see you more often, yeah?
Thank you so much. Have a good evening.
Asante sana. And to you, Mwananchi, asante sana kwa pia kuwa part of this show. This is Africa 24. Here we are discussing a lot. I had with me Innocent Miner and, of course, Fedash, who happened to have dropped out earlier. But allow me to read some one or two sentiments coming from you. I see Goodyear, and Asema, at the moment, Ruto has got the upper hand because the so-called opposition have got no time for anything apart from the infighting. Okay, that is good here. Naxfab TV anasema insightful conversation here. Keep up the good work, Jakes. Asante sana. Namuona Grace Onyango anasema how do you you must go, we don't like you. Hapo mbele kwa umesema Ruto, you don't look good with those clothes. Okay, so ukiconnect na your second message nasema you must go, we don't like you. Okay, sawa. Good year, you are asking for the faces. Pole, today it was almost like a podcast. I see George Okello, asante sana, unasema Ruto is a liar. Okay. George Mugo unasema hamtaweza. Kuna watu wana believe that it's not possible to impeach the president. Of course, this is not a new statement. You remember there's some days back where they would say they wanted to impeach him when he was just a DP. Yeah, so they tried. You remember those days, Akina Ayub Sabula wakisema they want to impeach him, but they didn't. That never materialized. Despite him having a fallout with Uhuru, they didn't impeach him as a DP. So now that he's the president, how do they go about it? Yeah. Okay. Naona Goody anasema better the devil you know than the angel you don't know. Of course, she was responding to the question I asked, that if we impeach William Ruto, who comes to play? It's none other than the DP Gashagwa. So I asked the question, who is better? Who is better? I see what Goodyear responded and answered my question. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for being part of this show. Asanteni sana wananchi watukufu kwa kuwa part of this show. This show is comes to you every single day from 10 p.m. Kenyan time. So jiungange nasi kila siku ili uweze kupata uhondo na nikujuze zaidi what is happening in our country. Follow us on TikTok, Africa 240, and utapata pia uko ndani uhondo kamili. Tufuate kila mahali. We are now on TikTok, we are now on Twitter, we are on Facebook, we are on YouTube, and we very soon, probably before the end of business tomorrow, will be on Telegram. Is it Telegram ya Kikuyu ama Telegram? Okay, you tell me. But zaidi ya yote, there is some other news I need to tell you, that subscribing to Africa 24 guarantees you grand prizes. Stick around. You never know. Your name will be popping up somewhere, and may your name be mentioned in good places, especially here at Africa, when we'll be reading the names of those who have subscribed to our channel. We have the list, not fully compiled. Once that has been worked on, we will be notifying you what happens there. The other thing I need to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, is that you can get more than what we are playing here at the live show. There are more clips there. There are more content. Watch what we are doing, and I'm telling you, you will have a good time even as you subscribe to Fuatilie. Anything new that will be happening, you can be sure to catch it here. Now allow me to leave you, but in the morning we have another awesome edition. Tuko na show kali ya asubuhi. You don't want to miss that, but allow me to take you through briefly on the newspaper today. Of course, today what they covered was the cost of living must drop. That was what Raila Odinga called upon to William Ruto by the speech he gave yesterday. Of course, I told you we will be letting you know once he has responded to the report. And he said the report is good, though incomplete, but the report is good. He gave it a nod, and he equally called for a referendum. So we might be headed to a referendum. He said that bunge imetekwa nyara, so let's go to the Mwanainchi. Let Mwanainchi have his say. What will be your say, Mwanainchi? Will you agree with the report? Do you agree with it even now? I don't know about you, but let's have this conversation going. Let's keep it on going. Let's keep on commenting and talking to one another. I'm your host, Jakes, the moderator. This show has been brought to you courtesy of Mtembei TV YouTube, Mtembei TV Facebook, Leo TV, Leo Facebook, and True TV, and of course, Afrique YouTube and Afrique Facebook. So kindly subscribe, kindly follow us, and you guys stand a chance to win awesome prizes. Jungana nami kesho mida ya asubuhi na tuwe na show ingine fiti, show ingine kali, so that you are always kept in touch with what is happening in our country. I always love you, and I always wish you the very best. And as I've said, may your name be mentioned in pleasant places. May your name be mentioned in pleasant places. Jina yako sihitaji tu place poa poa. Asante sana. God keep you. Good night and bye-bye.